بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وبعد. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. هذه هي الحلقة 10 بمادة اللغة الانجليزية للمستوى السادس في قسم الدعوة لطلاب وطالبات الانتساب المطور، وسوف نبدأ هذه الحلقة بنفس الكتاب page 138. The title of our lesson today is Focus on Reading. Focus on Reading. As you can see, we'll just try to focus on each section. We focus on something. So first of all, we focus on the topic, then we focus on the reading, then we focus on the vocabulary, and then we focus on writing. So focus on reading, page 138. We have the exercise here, reading for main ideas. So, of course, we have the passage, page 138 and 139 and 140. So these are very important passage to read about. Try to read the passage and, to understand the meaning, read the first paragraph and then use the each paragraph and try to come up with the words. And remember, as I told before, you need to listen to the CD that you have in this book and then try to read the passage yourself, understand the ideas, understand the sentences there, and understand the words there. And if you don't know the meaning of any word, please go back and check your dictionary just to know and to make sure that you understand the meaning of that word. If you don't understand the meaning, that means that you won't understand the passage, you won't understand the ideas mentioned in that paragraphs or that essay, right? So please try to use your dictionary all the time whenever you need it. So now we go to the exercise, reading for main ideas. Look at the search for beauty again to find sentences with similar meanings to the sentences below. Next to each sentence, write the paragraph number where you found a similar sentence. Share your answers with the class. So we have the exercise here. So we have A, B, C, D, E, and F. So we have 6 statements here. So try to find the similar ideas there in the passage itself, and then try to write the paragraph number in front of each one, right? So, the purpose of this exercise, by the way, the purpose of this exercise, just to make sure that you understand the whole passage, and then, of course, if you understand the passage, if you find the similar meanings, in this passage, which are similar to the meaning of these statements, that means that you understand the meaning of the whole passage. If you cannot, that means that you didn't understand the passage. So try to find one by one and try to match the idea here with the idea there. And also, this exercise will, encourage you just to learn more words, more ideas, and also this is another good, skill, which is, just matching ideas together, which means that you understand the original text. So, of course, those statements we have here, number A, B, C, D, E, and F, of course, they might be similar. They are not very identical to the statements and ideas mentioned in the passage, but they might just only be similar. So try to understand the passage itself, the whole passage. Try to understand the ideas, the whole ideas there. Of course, you cannot understand the ideas, as I mentioned, without learning and knowing the meaning of each word. Of at least most of the words there, you need to know the meaning of them, just to make sure that you understand the main idea of the whole passage and also the different, sub-ideas you have in that passage. So therefore, now read the passage yourself. You have to listen to the CD first, and then you have to read the passage yourself, word by word, sentence by sentence, idea by idea, and then come up with the general idea of the whole passage, and then try to answer the questions you have in this exercise here. So therefore, just go back and read it carefully, point by point, idea by idea, sentence by sentence, if you also word by word, and then, of course, you will come up with the general idea of the whole passage, and then you can do whatever you like whether just to finding the main ideas, comparing them and to other ideas like what you have here, or just learning new words, which is very important. You know, as I told you before, the more you read, the more English you learn. So try to read as much as you can, just to learn more words, more, you know, expressions, more grammar, and of course more English. And then of course, if you read a lot, you can write a lot. If you listen a lot, you can speak a lot. If you listen carefully, if you listen very well, you can speak very well. If you also read and listen very well and very, you know, organized, you can speak and you can write English very well and very good English actually. So try to practice, you know, listening and reading as much as you can, because, you know, in this way, of course, you can learn more words, more vocabulary, and more expressions. So let's now go to the exercise and try to read it one by one, you know, A, B, C, D, and F. So number A says, people admired the fashions of foreign countries. So what do you think of this sentence here? People admired the fashions of foreign countries. So if you just go back to the you know, passage, you have different paragraphs, of course. You have paragraph number 1, number 2, number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So the statement here says people admired the fashions of foreign countries. So of course this passage talking about the American people. So foreign countries, any country that other than, of course, the US. So if you just pay attention to the passage itself here, you will find, you know, the similar meaning. You find the sentences with similar meaning to the sentence here in paragraph number 2. Paragraph number 2, if you just read paragraph number 2, starting from maybe, you know, at the bottom of page 138, it says, in the 18s, for example, American women in New York used to admire the fashions of Paris. So here, in fact, since you know, so they started, you know, admire fashions of Paris. So Paris belongs to the capital of France. So this is a foreign country. Therefore, the sentence that, you know, is similar to this you know, statement number A should be, it's mentioned in paragraph number 2. Paragraph number 2. Therefore, as again, I remind yourself that everybody here, I remind them that, you know, the purpose of this exercise just to make sure that you understand the passage. If you understand the passage, that you can compare it to other similar statements and sentences and ideas. So this is for number A. Number A, we choose paragraph number 2 because we have the idea mentioned in paragraph number 2. Now let's move to number B. Cosmetic surgery is becoming safer and faster. So can you just try to focus on and read the passage and where you can find the similar statement there. So we have paragraph number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So if you just pay attention to that, you know, because, you know, since we have our meeting is very limited, so we cannot spend a lot of time just reading the whole passage. This is a very good passage, very, useful passage, and it has a lot of words, a lot of good words actually. So just read it yourself. As I mentioned before, try to listen to the CD, then read it yourself and try to understand the words, underline the most difficult words, find the meaning of each one, and then try to understand the words and the sentences and the idea, and the ideas there and the whole passage together. So number B, if you just pay attention to the passage, you will find it on page, of course, paragraph number 8. Paragraph number 8, because they started talking about how safe this cosmetic surgery can be done. So that's very, just pay attention to that and try to find that one. And if you just pay attention to page 140, the second line say the answer. Start with paragraph number 8. It says, is it possible that in the future everyone will look more beautiful? The answer could be yes. Cosmetic surgeons are working hard to find safer and faster ways to help people who want to change the way they look. So this is the paragraph here, number 8. Number 3, maybe last one, we'll do number A, B, C, and keep number D, E, and F as a homework. Number C, women try to change the shape of their bodies. So which paragraph you think you have the idea in this, similar to this statement here? So if you go back and check the passage, you will find this idea mentioned in paragraph number 3. Paragraph number 3, you will find this, the same idea mentioned there, or similar idea actually mentioned there, that women want to change their bodies. So if you just pay attention to page 139, just read the middle of the paragraph says, but nowadays men and women who want to change the body shapes don't need to wear uncomfortable clothing. So this is the similar idea or statement mentioned in paragraph number 3. So try to complete number C, D, E, and F as a homework. This is very important. As I told you, try to read them and try to find the answer to every one. And to, as I told you, it's very easy to answer. So we have number D, E, and F, which are similar to A and B and C, and try to find the similar ideas and statements you have in the passage and try to use it here in this exercise. And this is, of course, the title of here, reading for main ideas. So if you understand the main ideas here, that means that you understand the whole passage. That you understand the whole passage, which is, the most important part. If you understand the whole passage, that means that it is very important. That means that you did very well in this exercise. So just try to, please, to complete number D, E, and F as homework. And now we'll just go to the next slide, which is also another good exercise that we can learn from. So this is the last exercise here. We have reading for details. So we say write T for true and F for false for each statement according to the reading. Then change the false statement to true ones. So if the statement is true, just write true. And if it is false, write false and try to correct the statement itself, okay? Again, this exercise, just to make sure that you understand the whole passage. These exercises, reading for main ideas and reading for details, of course, are very good exercises. They are very useful exercises for everybody, just to make sure that you understand the whole passage, to make sure that you understand every idea there, to make sure that you understand what's going on in that passage and that, of course, topic. So therefore, we just try to read one by one and try to know whether it's true or false. And then if it is false, we try to correct the false statement. So let's start with number 1. Paris was the example of fashion in the 18s, okay? 18s or 180s. So 1080 in the 1080s, so or 1800s. So this is Paris was the example of fashion in the 80s, or in the, of course, we say in 1800s. So if we go back and check the passage itself, so just you can read it one by one, and then you will find the answer there, whether it's true or false, of course, according to your comprehension, according to your understanding. If you understand the passage, you can answer this question, this exercise. If you don't understand the passage, you cannot answer this exercise. Therefore, Paris was the example of fashion in the 1800s. So if you just go back and again check your passage, you will find the same passage 138. The author said in the 1080s, for example, American women in New York used to admire the fashions of Paris. So therefore, this statement is true, right? this statement is true because it's mentioned there and it's very clear and it's, very straightforward. So this is number A. Number one is true because it's mentioned there in the passage itself. So let's now go to number 2. Number 2, women in France wanted to have larger waists. Do you think this is true or false? So based on your understanding, based on your comprehension, what do you think of this question? Number 2. So women in France wanted to have larger waists. You know the meaning of waist, right? If you don't know the meaning of waist, of course, you need to go back and check your dictionary to know about the meaning of waist. Of course, there is a very important, strong connection between waist and the body. Waist is part of your body, but just to make sure that you understand the meaning, please go back and check your dictionary just to find the meaning of the word waist here. So women in France wanted to have larger waists. Do you think this is true or false? So if you go back and check your passage, you will find a different answer. You will find a different answer. So they say French, and during the time, this is page 139, maybe line number 5. During the time of the French Revolution, many women used to wear corsets, belts that made their waists appear much slimmer. So slimmer means thin, right? Slimmer means thin, while here we have larger. So this is the opposite. Therefore, this statement is false. This statement is false because, in the passage we have that women in France wanted to have slim waists, not larger. So as I told you, slim means, like thin or, small waists, not like larger waists. So the correct answer should be women in France wanted to have slim waists. So this is for number 2. So now we go to number 3. Corsets were not comfortable. What do you think? Were they comfortable or not? So if you also go back and check your passage on page 139, you will find that on maybe the third paragraph in the middle, you find that let me just read it for you. But nowadays, men and women who want to change their body shapes don't need to wear uncomfortable clothing, which means that that corsets are not of course comfortable. Therefore, this is a true statement. This is a true statement. Therefore, we don't change this statement. So since it's true. So again, I just want to remind that everybody should pay attention, that they should learn the passage very carefully. They should learn the word by word. They should understand every idea there, just to make sure that they understand the whole passage, just to make it easy for you just to follow and also to learn. The purpose of just studying English, just to learn English, right? So you need to study more, you need to study hard, you need to practice English more and more, of course, by reading and by, of course, speaking. So the best way just to learn English is to practice your English by speaking and, of course, reading. Okay, number 4. Some women used paint to change the color of their faces. You think this is true or false? If you just try to read the passage itself, you'll find that people this statement is true. So if you go back to page 139, paragraph number 4, he said, in England in the 1500s, make-up became an important part of beauty. Thus, some women used to paint their faces white. So since they want to paint their faces white, so those women paint their face just to change the color of their faces. So this is true statement. So again and again and again, please try to check your passage, try to understand the meaning there, try to understand the rules there, the grammar and the vocabulary that we have in that passage, and try to use it, in those exercises. Those exercises are very important, although they are, easy exercises, but they are very useful exercises if you just follow the guidelines and instructions of your teachers. You need to read. First of all, you need to listen to the CD, the passage from the CD yourself, just to make sure that you can pronounce the words correctly. After just listening to the CD, you can just go back and read the passage yourself. Then, after reading the passage, you need to underline the difficult words. Then you just go and check and find the meaning of every word that you have in the passage, and then try to read the sentences one by one, just to make sure that you understand the ideas mentioned there. As you know, every paragraph should have one idea, right? So try to focus on, that idea, and of course, after learning many words about that passage, you will understand the whole idea. You will understand the different ideas of each one, and then you come up with a conclusion of the whole idea of the whole passage. And of course, and you can tell us about, the different ideas, the thesis or the main idea of the whole passage, and every idea of each paragraph, just to make it easy for you just to understand and to know more words and more, of course, rules and grammar. So this is very important. I just always keep reminding you just to know the meaning of those words and to do the exercises here. Of course, you have many exercises here. This exercise, which is reading for details, try to complete it as a homework. We have also reacting to the readings, also try to complete it as a homework. We have the reading 2, also try to read it and also listen to the CD and read it and find the difficult words and then answer the whole exercises there and all the questions, just to make sure. Because we have only very limited time, we cannot go through all the exercises. So we'll just do some of them, and you do the rest. And if you have any question, you can ask us later on. And that's the end of this our meeting today. وكان هذا هو آخر ما في هذه الحلقة، وللقاء بالحلقة القادمة إن شاء الله. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.